Ooh, what's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Metal Cardbot Bluster Gale, which is a version of Bluster Gale from the Metal Cardbot cartoon. This was sent to me by Agabyss. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at these. This is the third in the Wave 1 series. As I mentioned in the previous reviews, the Wave 1 are the more simpler designs. As we get into Season 2, Wave 2, and 3, you'll get some more complex designs. I will follow this up with a review of a Season 2 figure so you can kind of see how they differ. Here's his metal card. Got the gold paint on green plastic. Nice picture of Bluster Gale there. Here's the back. We'll see more in the transformation, but you got some metallic blue and silver on this. It looks nice. We'll set that aside for now. Here's a figure. It does kind of have like a helmet on it, like a construction helmet with a gas mask. So he's got yellow, black, and teal on the head. Some black and yellow accents all throughout. Very construction vehicle-y looking. More paint here, more paint there. Here's the back. He does have this little thing here. Let's go over the articulation. You can flip this forward and pretend like a, welding mask or something. It is part of the transformation, but I just thought that was a neat little feature. The head is on a ball joint, so it goes forward and backward, side to side. Rotates not that far because, it starts colliding there. It is on a ball joint, but yeah, you can't get it past, I'd say, right there on both sides. Shoulders rotate around on a ratchet joint, out to the side on a ratchet. You can fold these down if you want, these little smokestacks. They're meant to be displayed though. Rotation at the elbow. 90-degree bend at the elbow. Nothing at the wrist. I kind of understand why though these shovel pieces are attached to the hands. So there's not really a good way to rotate those. Rotation at the waist on a ratchet. Everything's pretty much on a ratchet. Legs kick up to there, back to there, out to the side, all on a ratchet. No thigh or knee swivel. And like I mentioned, this is a Wave 1 figure, so it's got some simpler articulation. You have toe tilt down. And out of box, you might have these heel spurs folded up. It balances just fine without them, but if you fold them down, it just gives them a little bit more of a balance. For his accessories, we get this tool gun. It's pretty neat. It looks like a wrench here, maybe like a chainsaw there, maybe a impact wrench here. It's just a cool little looking gun. Very construction-y. This will plug in right here, so you can blast some bad guys. And we also get his metal card, and it turns into a Gatling gun. So we're going to fold this up. We'll fold these out. We'll flip this around. And this will mount on the chest. There's 2 clips and 2 pegs here on the front of the chest. I'll tab in right there. And now you have him fully armed up. Actually, I think that looks really cool. All right, and for size comparison, there it is next to the Metal Cardbot Blue Star and the Mech Tackle. So you can see a size difference. And I wanted to mention the class sizes now that we're a few reviews in. So this is called Mega Class, at least according to Agabyss's website. This is called the Stealth Class. And then this one is called the Power Class. There's one more that's even bigger. That's called a Road Warrior Class. Well, I'm kind of saving that for the end, so I didn't want to show that yet. And also shout out to Team 978. He suggested that I include Studio Series Optimus Prime, since not a lot of people will have these Metal Cardbot figures yet. So this will give you a sense of the scale next to a Hasbro figure that more people are familiar with. All right, let's get him transformed into vehicle mode. Go ahead and take the gun out. We'll fold this down, and then I'll be ready for alt mode. We'll detach this. Just leave it like this for now. There is a way to attach this in vehicle mode. Actually, it goes right back there, but for now, we'll take it out. We're going to rotate this around, fold this up, fold this out, and bring this over the head, and then we'll fold this back. All right, we'll do the same thing here. Fold this down, rotate it up, rotate the arm to this side, and bring this back. Obviously, we can now tab the shovel together, bring the arms down, and just leave it right there. Now we'll take care of these. Fold in the toes, fold in the heels, open up this panel, flip the foot in, close that back up. Same on this side. Tab the legs together. We're going to fold out these tread pieces. We'll rotate these around to the other side. And then we'll take all of this, and this will rotate up and sit right there. This front shovel will plug in to the treads right here. So get that clipped in on both sides. And there's Bluster Gale in bulldozer mode. And it does look pretty cool. He has the eyes on the front. They're somewhat smaller on this one. No wheels on this one, so it just kind of sits on those tracks. It doesn't roll. But it is a good looking, kind of John Deere-ish looking bulldozer. Right? It's got the orange, the yellow, and the green, and the black, which is a very John Deere, color scheme. We can still utilize this, but first I'll show you how to put this on. This is going to attach right here. It goes at an angle. You have to open up this little panel. And then you can plug this in right here at an angle, and you can close that back up. And now you can kind of tow that around. Now, if you want to plug this in, this is kind of not going to fit here, so you got to take that back out. And then we can put this here. I think that's cooler, personally. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Flash Vector figure. And like I had mentioned before, scale is kind of all over on this line. So they don't necessarily, look like fully scaled vehicles. I think in later in seasons, they started paying attention to that a little bit more, but there you go. So final recommendation on the Metal Cardbot Bluster Gale. This one's pretty good. I'm going to give this a 4, maybe even a 3. It really, what saves it is the weapons. This Gatling gun is really cool. I think it looks good, but it also just cool. The functionality works both in robot mode and in vehicle mode. The gun is kind of neat. Yeah, it's a construction gun. It's got like a wrench and stuff in it. So it is themed appropriately, and it is a fun figure to mess with and transform. However, the articulation is limited, specifically the legs. No thigh rotation and no ankle tilt. It makes it a little bit harder to pose. You can say I got him in a pose here. It looks pretty good, but it's a little bit limited just due to that. So I think it's a pretty cool character if you like this theme, the construction vehicle theme, which of course we do. We like Constructicons. So I think, this it's a fun figure. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to Agabyss for sending this for review. We'll see you next time.
TM Reviews. What's up, YouTube fans?